Hello everyone, we will try to solve this SQL question today. So we have this table event log. So this table contains the ID and the time of the events, and by seeing the next row we can see that how much time this particular event lasted. So this is the data for this particular table event log, and here we can see that ID is 1 and event time is, the date is 1/4/26 and the time is 12. So the event started at this time, and then again for the same ID the time is 12:15. So that means for ID1 the first event started at 12 and finished at 12:15. So the event lasted for 15 minutes. Then again the next time the event started at 12:15 and ended at 1 p.m., which means the event lasted for 45 minutes. And similarly we can see that these are the timing of the events, and by comparing it with the previous time we can check that how much time the event lasted. And then similarly for this ID number 2 also we can see that event started at 10:20 and ended at 10:25, so it lasted for 5 minutes, and the next session lasted for around 30 minutes. So the question is, we have to check how many events lasted for more than 30 minutes. So this is one part of the question. The second part says that we have to generate a new session ID for each session which lasted for more than 30 minutes. So we have to generate an output something like this. So this is our source table, and for this table we have to generate a output like this. So the event is, first event started at 12, so the event ID is 1, again 1, and the moment event ID lasted for 30 minutes or more than 30 minutes, we have to generate a new event ID. So since this event lasted for more than 30 minutes, which is 45 minutes, so the event ID changed to 2. Then again it will change 2 to 3 when the event ID lasted for more than 30 minutes. So again here it lasted for 35 minutes, so we change it to 3. Now when the ID changes, we will again start with 1 1, and then the moment you find an event which is more than 30 minutes, you made it 2. So we will solve this question. So first we will try to solve the first part of this question. So let's see what we can do. So as a first thing we will just try to see what are the events which lasted for more than 30 minutes. So we are using a lag function. Using lag function we can compare one row with its previous row. So we are using lag and we have to do the comparison on event time, and one represents, we are checking for one previous row, and I am just putting over partition by ID, order by event time, and I am putting the name as previous. And in the same query what I will do, I will also try to find out the difference between these two events. So the time of the current event and the time of the previous event, I will just try to find out the difference between these two times. So that will give me how much time the event lasted. So I am just doing event time minus lag of this. Okay. So what it will give me? It will give me the time for which the event lasted. So let's see what it is giving. Event time minus, okay, just a moment, I have to use this completely. Okay, I will just say this as time difference. Let me execute. So now here you can see that we have to compare the second row with the first row, third row with the second row, fourth row with the third row, so likewise. So this is the time of first event, or we can say the session within the first event ID, and since there is no previous row for the first row, it will not give any previous row, hence time difference is 0. Then for the second event, the time difference is 15 minutes. Then for the third record, it is 45 minutes. And likewise, we calculated for all the rows. So now we have the time difference between consecutive events. So let's put it as CT. And then we have to see what are those events which lasted for more than 30 minutes. So we will just say select star, and let me use a case statement, case when time diff is greater than equal to 30 minutes, 30, then 1, else 0, and let me put it as stat from CT. So we, in the first query, we founded the time difference. Now in the second, we are just checking for all those records where the time difference is more than 30 minutes. So it is just for 3 rows. So now let me put this as CTE2. Why? Because till now we just found out those events for which we are getting the time as more than 30 minutes, but we have not yet solved this second part. If we wanted to solve only this first part, we already have the answer. We will just select these 3 records, but we have to generate consecutive session ID. So now we have to generate consecutive IDs. That means this will be 1, this will be 1, this will become 2, then 2, 2, then this will become 3, and then again for ID2 it will start as 1, 1, and then it will become as 2. So there is one method which we can use here. So let me write it first, and then we will understand what I have done. I'm just using select star, and then I am using sum of stat, and I am doing a rolling sum, not the direct aggregated sum, rolling sum. Partition by ID, order by event time as flag from CTE2. Okay, so now let me run this query. Okay, what is the error here? Select star. Just a moment. Okay, I'm press S. Okay. Okay, so I just forgot to put this as S. Okay. So now let me run this complete query. Okay, so now what we have generated here, sum of stat over partition by ID and order by event ID. Okay, so now this is 0, this is 0, this is 1. So what we are doing, rolling sum, means we are doing the sum of all the previous rows. So for this row, this it will come 0. For this second row, the sum of these 2 rows, so it is 0. For this third row, it will be the sum of these 3 rows, so it is 1. Now for this fourth row, it is the sum of all this fourth row, so likewise till this it will be 1, and then again there is one more 1, so for this record it will become 2, and then again for ID2 it will generate 0, 0 and 1. So now we have got these flags. So now we are still yet to complete this one. So once we have this flag, then over this flag we can generate a rank based on this ID and ordered by this event ID. So let me just write a subquery on this last part. What I will do, select, let me just select all the columns first, select star, and then what I will do, rank over partition by id, order by, now I will do an order by flag, because flag are flag is the incremental value for those IDs. So I'm just putting it on flag and partition by ID. Okay. So now once I will run this query, it will give me the correct output, and I will put it as sequence ID from, and then this will become my subquery, and I have to put an alias to this. Okay, so now you can see for this, if you just see the ID number 1, so it is 1 1, so this 0 and the rank is starting with 1 1, and then the moment you get a new number, the rank is changed to 3. But now you see we are using rank, so when you are getting same rank more than once, the next rank will be skipped. So I don't want that, so I am using dense rank. So now if you see dense rank, it is 1 1, then for the moment you see a new flag, it is 2 2 2. Then again when you see a new event ID, so you will notice that the moment you see an event where it lasted for more than 45 minutes, it will generate a new ID. Then again when it find an event which lasted for more than 30 minutes, it generated another ID. Then again same thing for event ID 2, 1 1 and then 2, because here we have an event which is more than 30 minutes. So now in this we don't need to select all these columns. I will just select ID, event, time, and the new column that we have generated. So now we can see the output that we wanted. You will see the sequential IDs, and the moment you find an event which is more than 30 minutes, a new event ID is generated. So thanks for this video. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have a different way of doing this. Thank you.